Hey there. So, I am currently hiding in a little hole. And the reason is I'm testing something that we're going to have running while we do some building today. All right. So, this little hole is right here next to what is going to be our zombie research lab. And it is going to be spectacular, fantabulous. As we've discussed, I want to extend back here. I want to open the roof up, give myself a nice angled roof. I'm going to build up the walls. Today, I'm going to start by focusing on this little area down here and getting the inside of the spawner itself actually the way I want. And I'm going to get a floor in. And then I'm going to start working on the walls. Although I do need to collect something else, which is going to be a pain to get them finished. But I can get everything kind of in and work on that a little bit over time. And that thing is calcite. Now, you may hear I have a friend, Mr. Tunnel. Mr. Tunnel popped up while I was doing some excavating up there. So I captured him, and he is now a valuable specimen in our zombie research projects. But the thing I'm setting up and I'm playing with is this little guy here. And it's actually quite simple. These are glass panes, which are between my cactuses. And you can see I've just got them in nice rows right there. And cactus, when it grows, will grow up, and if it's next to a block or something that connects to it, it'll automatically break and fall. Okay? So I've totally got 9 bits of cactus overall. So this is going to help me expand out a whole bunch of cactus, because I have decided that I'm going to add cactus as a layer in our industrial bone meal farm. And this will help me get started working on things so that I can do that. But basically, you just need a solid block. You need some water streams underneath of it, which you can see here. So these are floating. A piece of sand, your cactus, and then your block in between. I've found that glass panes and fence posts actually work best. But we'll let that run while I'm going about my business today. And we will see how far we actually get. Yeah. So, with that being said, let me get a few things up, and then let's get to it. Yeah. I've decided to like this sound. Though I have figured out I need to learn how to splice things as well. But we'll get that taken care of. One thing at a time. But as you can see, I'm actually just doing a fairly geometric pattern down inside of the spawner. All of the walls match except for the one where the bubble elevator's at. I want that wide open so you can see everything kind of going through it there. And at this point, I realized that the glass in the bubble elevator made it so I could see everything around the bubble elevator. So I'm going back in. I'm fixing up a little bit on the floor and then putting in some sidewalls. Now, here you'll see I use the bone blocks a couple different ways. I put them, that middle side up in a ring, and then I put them facing out from the spawner. If you pay attention, they actually kind of have a stripe to them, so you can actually tell which direction they're pointing if you pay attention to it. kind of see through this area. I kind of went with a randomization pattern. I'll talk a little bit more about that after the time lapse is up. But it gives it a little bit more depth to begin with. So things don't feel like they're just a flat, boring, stagnant wall. You know, staring at a wall of stone versus a wall mixed with some cobblestone and some regular stone, some smooth stone, whatever. World of difference. And this is where I need to learn how to splice music. At this point, I'm trying to get my geometry so I can see the high arch ceiling from anywhere in the room. So I was actually using the scaffolding to kind of measure what I was looking at. So, got that. This wall I'm sort of working on now. And I'm so indecisive. I'm going to do something different with it. Still going to have the bone pillars. But I feel like I need something more for the top that I need to adjust and stuff over time as I get my gradient up to the top of the spawner for my visual look. Having it just squared off like the rest of the room is so far, just it doesn't seem right. But I'll get that figured out. I'll experiment with it here. Ceiling obviously needs refinement, but that's the look I'm going for. I'm hoping you enjoyed that little bit of a building time lapse. That place is going to be a work in progress for a while, so I'm not too fussed about not getting it done. You probably saw getting towards the end there, I was digging out some more stuff. I want to have a vaulted ceiling in there so that I can see the whole zombie spawner throughout the entire room and stuff. So that's what I was digging out. If you saw on that last wall I was starting to get on, because of how tall that wall is going to be, I ended up second guessing myself. I don't know if I want to go with the exact same kind of pattern I was, or if I want to top it, or something a little bit different there. But something I wanted to point out now that we're through the time lapse, and it might be worth going back and watching me do it after I tell you, just to have an idea of what's going on. But that entire room is built with a grand total of, well, technically 4 blocks. Now, crafting-wise, just so I didn't have to deal with trying to angle it right, I did craft up some of these high fey blocks, which is the same as the crimson stem, except that it does not have this face here. It's actually something you can do with your regular woods and the warped stem there as well. So that one was a little bit different. The other thing that I did is I took some of it and I crafted up some crimson planks as well. Okay? So everything in there was comprised of these so far. Now, there's a few things that you should pay attention to when you're building, and they can take things to another level. Weird example, actually. This little temporary building I have here, notice how it almost looks like it's a proper, like, leftover ruin of, like, a castle rampart or something like that. Part of the reason for that is actually largely in part due to gradients, right? This heavier, thicker, beefier stone goes into a lighter, kind of more muddled texture, right? And because of that, it kind of works its way up. You can do the same thing with different colors throughout the game and textures, like a heavier texture at the bottom and work your way up to lighter textures and things like that. But on top of knowing just that, something like the bone block here, actually. So I can place it a couple of different ways. It's really subtle here, but we've got facing right up, and then we got facing sideways here. So you can actually tell that there's a big difference. And we'll go down to the cave in just a second, and I'll show it off a little bit better. If you can't see it on my camera, just throw down a couple of bone blocks next to each other. You'll really get a feel for it. But anyway, so taking a build up to the next level, right? Like once you got something, shape-wise, this is a really nice, cozy little house, right? But this side, I mean, it looks boring, right? So I kind of showed this off before. But come over to this side now, right? All I did was I swapped out some of the stripped logs for a couple of planks. Otherwise, this is basically the same exact kind of build that the other side is, and all of that. And I still need to go around and texture it, but I did the same thing up here, and it looks just more complete automatically. Knock it off. It looks more complete automatically. Same thing with this granite. These are all granite stairs. Some of them are polished and some of them are just the straight granite. But it kind of gives the roof kind of its own feel to it, right? And up here, you know, same thing with the chimney. I separated with that one smooth piece and then the regular and all of that. But, you know, the sections where I've gone back in and I've textured it look a lot better. In fact, you know what? No. Yes. You can tell I'm so decisive. Let me think. That side is oak. Do I have oak? Convenient. Stripped oak. I think I can turn... No, I don't. Ah. Alright, let's just grab a bunch of this. Alright. Throw that in there. Got my axe. Alright. So let's go over to this other side here. And we're literally just going to come in. We're going to randomly pop this. So there's not really a huge method to the madness per se. Other than the fact that I've decided I'm going to do it. You do a lot of times want to break things up a little bit more. So it's not all on top of itself, because when you get huge patches of the same thing. Oh, that's where I've been hearing monster sounds in here forever, and it wouldn't let me sleep at night sometimes. And oh man, that's what's been causing it. Anyway, carrying on like I knew what I was doing this entire time. That became a natural monster spawner. There we go. So we do that, and I got scaffolding on me, right? Yeah, and I got enough hearts to jump. Alright, so let's set up some scaffolding. Yep. That'll get us a good ways across some of this. There we go. Now we'll give her the good old axe treatment. Alright, now we'll come back in. Boom, boom, boom. Just replace the stuff we removed. Alright. Collect all of my scaffolding, because I still don't have a good screen source to replace it with. that? Oh, that's a torch. Okay. Yeah, I need to probably set up that spider spawner or a mob drop. But anyway, the grand reveal. Boom. Instantly looks better. And now, granted, there's a couple spots, like, I don't like how that is right there, so I might flip-flop these and do the pattern a little bit different. Actually, no, hold on. I know why that corner looks bad. That should be spruce. All right. But anyway, let's see. Let's put my oak back. Spruce. Spruce. Uh-oh. I should have some down in the barrel down here. One of these chests. Ooh. There we go. Much better. So just that little bit right there took this from being an okay-ish build to all of a sudden it looks all right, especially that section. And then you can tell, like, drastically, this is just flat and drab now after I did that. Right, so that's one of the easiest ways to take your build from, okay, you know, I'm starting to learn some stuff, to, okay, now I look like I know what I'm doing, right? And that'll work well. And I could actually do something with, like, this back here. If I decided not to terraform this after all of the terraforming I've been talking about I'm going to get around to doing forever, I could just basically put that kind of a thing underneath this house, and it would look okay. I would not call it good, but that is actually part of the plan eventually. I know that cobbled deep slate's actually going to go here, down for a row or two, and then it's going to slope down with the dirt around this side, down the back, probably on this side over here. Although I'm not fully decided. Yes, I know, Mr. Pillager. I'm capturing your friends and being all mean and stuff. I know I'm going to come off up here a little bit. Definitely put in a foundation on the other side of these spruce pillars. Whether or not I actually terraform down here, I haven't decided yet, really. But anyway, so that's kind of the big takeaway for the day, is just that random texturing. And just to show it off even more and not in fast forward, I'm going to hop back down to the cave and meet you there. All right, back down here. Wow. Anyway, so you can kind of see what I was talking about here. Having the sporadic floor. There's a few spots I need to come back and kind of maybe tweak and change just a little bit to give it a little more randomness. But the textures and stuff make it feel, I don't know, more organic, I guess, than if we, you know, just left it all as one flat texture. Like a bunch of this, it can look good in the right situation, but then it just looks flat and plain. And, you know, that kind of thing. Back here, actually, is, like, one thing. I'm not sure what I'm going to do with this wall, actually. I've been thinking about it. Same with the stairs. Now, I do know one thing I want to do with the stairs here. You can use redstone to make these stairs go in, and I can turn this into a secret entrance to go further back down here. So I'm going to see, I think I left myself enough room to work with. If not, I've still got a little room to expand around it. And I should be able to make that happen. So I'm going to have a secret entrance there. Back this way, eventually, is going to be like the research offices coming off of here. In this direction, I'm going to add another enchanting room. And all of that. But this right here that I'm working on right now is just going to be an observation room. And I might put in a few instruments here and there, someplace where it looks like I can take notes, a desk, a couple things like that. But for the most part, this is going to just be a grand room. And what I was talking about was shaving things down. That's the view that I want up there. Um, so you kind of saw me doing it at the end of the time lapse. I still got a little bit more to do, actually, in this area here, which means I'm probably just going to take all of this here up like I did with this. Haven't fully settled on it yet, but that's kind of what we're doing. I do have another way to wire up this switch that I'll show you guys, that I'll be able to hide something over on the wall here. And you won't even necessarily know it's a switch, so it's not going to be obnoxious. That's for later. That's for redstone. Back to our little experiment. That was I want to say that was about a 2-hour time lapse, give or take. So I got roughly 30 cactus out of that. So it's not very much, but I've got something. I'm gonna call it exciting to show you about those. That we can do for experience, and we'll do that here in an episode or two. I am going to. Oh, hello, zombie. I am going to adjust this area right here a little bit. You can see, in fact, you saw it in the time lapse. I came over and I added this real quick because I was dropping items down inside of the spawner while I was putting it together. And since it all comes down, it bubble elevators up, comes over, drops everything straight down onto this hopper, which fills up the chest. And it also doubles as item collection when I'm using the spawners, so I don't really have to worry about my inventory getting full and such. So we've got some of that. That's my my old cave where I was chopping these guys up back in the day. But anyway, I think just that little. Oh, is there like one or two leaking through down there? There is. There's a dark. I broke my redstone. Oh, huh. Ah. So it's not really off right now. This is my mending one, right? Yeah. Let's see. If I come back this way to here. Oh. I thought I had left a piece of redstone, like right there. Oh, you know what? I bet that broke when the water fell down. Ooh, iron. Let's see. Well, I'll go find some redstone and get that fixed up. But yeah, just the redstone dust on this side looks like it probably broke. Which is annoying, but it's not the end of the world. In fact, we can see it right there. 1, 2, 3, 4. But I'll get that fixed up here in a little bit. Otherwise, I think I feel pretty good about this episode compared to some of the ones I've done. We talked about, a little bit of a trick for beginners. I managed to get a big build in, show it off, and it wasn't just me, straight talking at it the whole time per se. So, with that, it's as always, it's been real and it's been fun. I really appreciate you coming along and joining me for this little adventure I've been on. As I learn how to do the YouTubes and show off some of my Minecraft skills or lack thereof, depending on your own skill level. But, really appreciate you coming along. I love comments. all the comments, please, so that I know what I'm doing well and what you think I can improve on. But otherwise, thanks for coming along, and I hope that I see you again tomorrow in our next video.